So a couple of days ago on the channel, I did a video talking about what should the Detroit Lions do. What's the what the priority should be going into this 2025 draft. Now again, I highlighted the problems that we need to address in the, like I said, in the free agency and everything. So when I was talking in that video, I had a couple of draft suggestions that I would draft. So first, well, the guy I'm going to scout today is the guy I mentioned in that video, Trey Amos. Trey Amos is a cornerback from Ole Miss. And again, you look at this 2025 defensive cornerback class. You know, you have your Travis Hunter, your Will Johnsons, you have your Benjamin Morrisons, and all these other guys that again talks about in other mock drafts and different things. But again, I don't see anybody really talking about Trey Amos, and I thought he's a kind of a guy that we need. A couple of teams that you could see him going to, like the Vikings would be a good thing, but I think especially you're looking at him going, especially second round, mid second round, probably early third round at best. But I think he's definitely going to be a second round pick. But yeah, he's a outside line. He's an outsided cornerback. So the games I saw him was LSU, Arkansas, and Georgia. They were the games that I scouted him off and I gave him. So first off, let's go to his strengths. He has a nasty press man technique that again with his pressing, like he can literally just attack and just throw literally anything, like literally the kitchen sink, and like he's great at being he's got a fantastic technique as a press man man. He has he absolutely destroys, like again he brings the entire kitchen sink when he's on the press, and then that helps him on the line of scrimmage, which utilizes his he has again quick feet, and he has some violent hands to distributing time and again he loves to what I saw on tape, he loves to distributing and dictating receivers. He's relentless at just doing stuff like that. And then the other one I've seen here, I want to talk about, he shows exceptional spiral awareness in constructed situations, using his length and his chest to take down the catch point, and he can squeeze routes and you know, go against the boundaries and stuff like that. Like he's good at stuff like that. And then one other thing that I saw here is that he has an explosive plant and drive ability to jump. Again, I love his plant and drive explosiveness that he has, and that is something that when you see him on tape, if you haven't seen it, you'll just jump off instantly. And then and then he can accelerate quickly when he's closing through windows on screen. He has an elite ball. He shows elite ball skills, consistently timing his plays at the catch point against a veteran conductor. Again, he again, with his times and his runs and his ball skills against the wide receivers, he has that elite mindset of a point catcher. With his, like I said, with his consistent timing and all that stuff. And then the last kind of one for the strengths I want to talk about is brings serious juice as a tackler when waiting, while maintaining proper technique, showing the ability to uncoil uncoil his hips and deliver some substantial pump contact. So again, he got some serious juice, especially at tackle. His technique and his ability to uncoil his hips. He's got some great hip movement. Again, you look at some of these other guys that I talked about or stuff, like sometimes like their movement hasn't been too good. But I talk about the weaknesses. So his tackling technique can deteriorate. It sometimes when I've seen his tackling, it can deteriorate against bigger receivers, and sometimes that he'll use his arm, and then when he's using his arm, it looks like he's bear hugging somebody. It doesn't look too good, and ultimately, you can coach that. You can coach that again if he has a good defensive coordinator behind him. He can coach it out, because again, when he's up against his tackling technique against bigger wide receivers and tight ends, that's where he really struggles, and that's where he's bear hugging people, and it's not looking too good. And then a couple more that I saw. He shows occasional freeze and frame against a double against double team moves, particularly when he's trying to get to the quarterback, and when you're looking at when the offensive line is trying to just double team him, he's not really comfortable on that, and then he can get two hands down on the field and lose his positioning, drawing flags. Again, that also when he draws flags and more attention. And then the last one I saw here, what I got here is sometimes gets caught flat-footed and in the zone of coverage, showing his decision creates separation on the windows underneath. So again, zone coverage, sometimes he can look a bit flat-footed, and it doesn't come off too well. And then it's a couple of his stats. He had 50 tackles last year, 39 solo tackles. So again, this was his best year. Again, like the year prior, he had 33 tackles, and then only 23 tackles solo. But again, this was his best year in college. 50 tackles, 39 solo tackles. Again, my thoughts on him, my overall opinion on him, he's definitely a genuine NFL starter. You can see the trades of him being a NFL starter, and then you can put him in really any scheme. He could be a 3-4 cornerback, a 4-3 scheme. So again, if you're looking at teams that play a 3-4 or 4-3, you can utilize him in whatever. And then he has, like I said, like we talked about with the strengths, he has some great press man abilities that would be great, especially if you with whatever system that you're going to use. And then he has some physicality and fluid transition, and he can really match. He's really good at going up against the X receiver. So still needs kind of one thing you need to work on is you've got to work on his zone coverage movement. That has to be worked on at the NFL, but you can coach that. It's coachable, and you can just refine that and just see what you have. But I'm looking at Trey Amos. He's definitely, like I said earlier, he's going to be probably a second-round pick. Has really good upside. He will be a starter. You can plug and play. You can put him in with somebody. Maybe he's in there with you could see him in the Detroit defensive line. You could see him in like the Jets defensive line. You could see him maybe looking for like a Mike Tomlin defensive line. Again, there's so many really plug-and-play places you can put him in. But yeah, maybe you could bring like a Dennis Allen's Bears team. But yeah, we'll have to see.